I just want to read this about microwave hearing. While working for the Advanced Research Project Agency at Walter Reed Army Institute of Research, Sharp and Groove discovered receiverless and wireless voice transmission. Their method was simple. The negative deflection of voice prints from recorded spoken numbers were caused to trigger microwave pulses. Upon illumination by such verbally modulated energy, the words were understood remotely. The discovery applications are obviously not limited to therapeutic medicine, according to James C. Lin in Microwave Auditory Effects and Applications. A Defense Intelligence Agency review of communist literature affirmed microwave sound and indicted voice transmission. The voice states sounds and possibly even words which appear to be originating intracranially within the head can be induced by signal modulation at very low average power densities. Among microwave weapon implications are great potential for development into a system for disorientating or disrupting the behavior patterns of military or diplomatic personnel. An Army Mobility Equipment Research and Development Command report affirms microwave speech transmission with applications of camouflage, decoy, and deception operations. One decoy and deception concept presently being considered is remotely create noise in the heads of personnel by exposing them to low power pulse microwaves. By proper choice of pulse characteristics, intelligent speech may be created, quotes the report. The Brunken patent 4877027 hearing system is a device capable of verbal microwave hearing. The invention converts speech from remote introduction into the head of parabolic antennae with indication of direct microwave influence on neural activity. The microwave spectrum granted is broad, 100 to 10,000 megahertz on 0.1 to 10 gigahertz. Pulse characteristics are essential to perception. Bursts of narrowing groups, eventually spaced pulses determine sound intensity by their amount per unit time. Although a wide spectrum is patented with ranges of pulse and burst duration, preferred operation has burst duration at 2 microseconds and pulse duration at 100 nanoseconds. Operation is at 1000 megahertz, which is the frequency of optimal tissue penetration. Another patent application based on microwave burst is designed in such a way that the burst frequencies are at least virtually equal to the sound frequencies of the sound picked up by a microphone. Though the transducer here is not a remote. Sorry about that. Stocklin patent 4858612 hearing device affirms the microwave hearing effect. Stocklin gives exposition to the concept that a microwave component is part of neurophysiology and electroencephalogram, or EEG, potentials. Microwaves are considered both emitted and absorbed by nerve cell membrane proteins. Microwaves generally excite the brain, perhaps by influencing calcium, a central ion in nerve firing. Stocklin represents the auditory cortex as normally producing microwave energy, which the device stimulates, thus eliciting sound sensation. Each acoustic tone is weighed for several microwave frequencies by a formula called the mode matrix, which is used to calculate best perception requirements. Observation of EEG desynchronization, delta waves, and brainwave amplitude help calibrate the device. The lowest frequency for hearing is estimated by the cephalic index. Microwave speech transmission in this patent is unremote, with the antenna over the size for the auditory cortex. Other patents have non-remote transducers of radio wave elicited hearing. Descriptions in the above patents attribute microwave hearing to direct neural influence. However, the most accepted mechanism in review is by the thermoelastic expansion, 12 most likely inducing bone conducted hearing. The cochlea does appear to be involved, but not the middle ear. This divergence of mechanism illustrates the non-thermal controversy. US exposure standards are based on thermal effects, yet there are effects very difficult to explain by thermodynamics. all accept thermal effects at some level, yet the thermal-only school is rather dogmatic related to the liability issues of commercial and national security concern. It must be said that the open literature regarding microwave hearing indicates a thermal acoustic mechanism. Communicating via the microwave auditory effect is the title of a small business contract for the Department of Defense. Communication initial results are the feasibility of the concept has been established using both low and high power systems. A Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, requests as to the project's outcome met with denial on the part of the Air Force on the grounds that disclosure could reasonably be expected to cause damage to national security. Though the Air Force denied the FOIA disclosure, such a contract's purpose is elaborated by the Air Force's New World Vistas report. It would also appear possible to create high-fidelity speech in the human body, raising the possibility of covert suggestion and psychological direction. If a pulse stream is used, it should be possible to create an internal acoustic field in the 5 to 15 kilohertz range, which is audible. Thus, it may be possible to talk to selected adversaries in a fashion that would be most disturbing to them. Robert Becker, whose eminence was enough to have been twice nominated for the Nobel Prize in Biological Electromagnetic Fields Research, is more explicit. Such a device has obvious applications in covert operations designed to drive a target crazy with voices or deliver undetectable instructions to a programmed assassin. The above Army effort had results. A microwave voice transmission non-lethal weapon is referred in the Thesaurus as the Center of Army Lessons Learned, which is a military instruction website. The military Thesaurus entry lists analogues devices using silent sound. Ultrasound transmission of voice. Internal voice capability without discernment by others nearby is also evident in ultrasound-based technology. Lowry Patent 6052336 apparatus and method of broadcasting audible using ultrasonic sound as a carrier clearly focuses on non-lethal weapon application against crowds or directed at an individual. Communication is understood as an inner voice with loss of the directional quality of sound perception. Since most cultures attribute inner voices either as a sign of madness or as messages from spirits or demons, both of which evoke powerful emotional reactions, quotes the Lowry Patent's effects on people, replaying speech with a delay impedes talking and causes stuttering. Normal brainwave patterns can be changed or entrained, which may cause temporary incapacitation, intense feelings of discomfort. This technique is detailed by Monroe Patent 5356368 method of an apparatus for inducing desired states of consciousness, with license to Interstate Industries, and involved an auditory replication of brainwave patterns to entrain the EEG as desired. Norris Patent 5889870 acoustic heterodyne device and method directionally produces sound on interface or heterodyning of two ultrasound beams. The cancellation leaves the carried audible sound perceivable. The effect becomes apparently particular within cavities such as the ear canal. An individual readily understands communication across a noisy, crowded room without nearby discernment. Sound can also be produced from mid-air as reflecting from any surface. It's interesting, isn't it? American Technology Corporation, which licensed this patent, has an acoustic non-lethal weapons technology, a cooperative agreement with the Army Research and Development Command, and is working on numerous other government agencies. The corporation's long-range acoustic devices, or LRADTM, amount for 60% of military sales and have integration into the Navy's situational awareness of radar surveillance systems with deployment on naval vessels and fleet harbours. Motors. A popular magazine writer describes the device inner nature of sound perception from separate references. Non-lethal weapons treatments affirm sound localization and individual ultrasound effect limitation, with obvious lack of nearby discernment, the latter by a non-lethal weapon program director. A similar ultrasound method of limiting sound to one person, Audio Spotlight, is marketed with exhibition at Boston's Museum of Science and the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. Both the American technology device and Audio Spotlight are discussed in an article with some history of ultrasound acoustics, which has origins in sonar. Other acoustic influence methods may utilize ultrasound. Target tracking technology. The maintenance of effects on people requires obstacle penetration and target tracking. These internal voice-capable energy forms penetrate obstruction and can be localized. Sound transmission through exclosures is commonly experienced. An inaudible ultrasound high-intensity carrier wave is unnoticed. Solid defect inspection is one use of ultrasound, which is being developed to discern movement through walls. Common technology utilizes the microwave hearing spectrum, which partly or completely encompasses cell phone and radar frequencies. Commercial signals are not perceived since the hearing effect requires pulsation within the limits that elicit perception. A variety of antennae localize the structurally penetrating microwave illumination with collimation or focusing. A patent compatible for mobile platforms with DEWs or directed energy weapons includes a modified Lumburg lens emitting parallel rays with over 50 years utilization. 50 years. Hobloff patent 5448501 electric life detection system is for microwave radar within the hearing spectrum that finds and disguises individuals through obstruction. Therein is stated the modulated component of the reflected microwave signal, subjected to frequency analysis, forms a type of electronic fingerprint of the living being with characteristic features, which permits a distinction between different living beings. Through this patent has use in tapped victim rescue. Another Hablob et al. Patent 5530429 electronic surveillance system detects interloops with security emphasis. Other literature describes the basic method. The Hablov et al. Patents discern people through structures by vital organ motion, but others offer more detailed imaging. Fullerton et al. Patent 6400307 system and method for intrusion detection using a time domain radar array in such design and is commercially available as radar vision by the time domain. Further designs for imaging within structures include a portable system determining suspect distance and presentations by the International Society for Optical Engineering. Software for displaying radar detection on personal computer is solid. Rowan patent 4893815 interactive transector device, commercial and military grade, describes the acquisition, locking onto and tracking a human target. Stated therein, potentially dangerous individuals can be efficiently subdued, apprehended and approximately detained. The capability of isolating suspected terrorists from their hostages or individuals within a group without affecting other members of the group is stated. Laser, radar, infrared and acoustic sensor fusion is utilized to identify, seek and locate targets. Locking illumination upon the target until weapons engaged accomplish tracking. Among available non-lethal weapons is an incapacitating electromagnetic painful pulse. Another target tracking system is the man-portable surveillance and target acquisition radar by Systems and Electronics Incorporated, which is capable of tracking movement targets including personnel. This system has an auto target track feature and lists moving target detection as 12 kilometers for a walking man. A track initiation processor requires a target, while a data association filter maintains a tracking lock on the target. An original method for target tracking is the Kalman filter. Numerous weapons guidance examples utilize similar process and illuminate targets for tracking. Laser illumination is also used for non-human targets. Other examples utilize microwave beam target recognition and weapons guidance. Target illumination tracking systems have nanosecond to millisecond response times. Such response do not require a wide scan area to lock illumination upon a person's achievable speeds. At 90 miles per hour, an auto travels less than 1/100th of an inch in a millisecond. Ultrasound voice transmission technology is publicly demonstrated in museum exhibits. The numerous microwave voice transmissions citations rest on considerable foundation of microwave hearing literature. Internal voice non-lethal weapon applications are discussed in many of the citations. There are examples of either existence or sales of non-lethal weapons based on both technologies. Numerous designs involving human location, identification, and tracking methods have long demonstrated the feasibility of constructing devices capable of producing internal voice continuously in isolated individuals. To deny such technological capabilities in the face of extensive complaint is willfully to ignore documented development of the relevant technologies and engineering's competence for complete integration. I'll stop it there because I've read 15 minutes of this stuff, but I thought it might interest some people, so I'll probably do a part 3 on this because there's lots more to read about it.